Hello, everybody. It is time for us to continue with what we started yesterday, even though it looks like we're into a new lesson. Last time. How about that? And it looks like we're going to learn a game today as well. Our lesson is going to be broken into two parts, and we are going to pick up with where we left off last week. So, I've told everyone in class that they're supposed to have this out. Some of you finished this, some of you did not, but it's time for us to work this through. After we finish working this through, you're going to need your notebook so we can write some division strategies. And this time I've got them written down so I don't make a blunder when I'm talking. Or let's see, maybe I will. I hope I don't. So here we go. Working with this. I am looking for students who would like to explain their thinking when they figure this out. Remember when we did this? First things first, last time we shared out the cookies. Then we talked about the rope down here. And now we're working with Mrs. Ingram's class. So with Mrs. Ingram's class, it says that they're fourth grade students just like you guys. And there's 29 students, and today she wants them to work in groups of 3. How many groups will there be? Who knows what the equation is? Raise your hand. Okay, I can draw a stick if I have it. Yes, Millie? 29 divided by 3 equals the number of groups. Okay. So we're working with 29 students and they have to be put into groups. There are several ways you can figure this out. I know that some of you figured it out by putting them into groups of 3. So we think about that. How many that we need to have 3, into a group. So be careful. It's not that we're looking for 3 groups. We're putting them into groups of 3. And I know there were a few of you that really had a lot of different ways to show this. And I'm going to quickly go by what I remember seeing. I saw one student start with this. We have a group of 3, and a group of 3, and a group of 3, and a group of 3. That works, doesn't it? Because it's faster than drawing 3 people, isn't it? Okay, now you got to count with me because we're counting by 3s. We have to see how far we are. 3.
12, 15, 18.
Okay, they said 21.
24. 27. 27.
Uh-oh, what do we do with this person and that person? What do we do with those 2 people?
There's a remainder.
Can we cut them into pieces so that everybody gets put in a group?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, you know better than that. Let's see. So it looks like we're cutting Phoenix and Trevor into pieces. I don't think their parents would be very happy about that. So somebody said we're going to have remainders. Does this mean that Tucker and David don't get to be in a group?
Are you kidding me?
Oh, David wants to be in a group.
I don't want to.
Tucker and David, what are we going to do with you 2? Oh, Tucker's ready to be ripped apart. Actually, okay, it's time to be serious, people. What do I do with these 2? Raise your hand. Millie. Okay, so they're a remainder of 2. They are a remainder of 2. Does that mean they don't have to do it because they don't have a group of 3? No. We're going to have either a group of 2 or these 2 are going to have to go into other groups depending on what the teacher wants you to do. So technically, how many groups is this? Phoenix, Oh, I've got a circle around that group too. So we have 10 groups. We knew that 29 divided by 3 is 9 remainder 2, but we have to answer the question. She wants them to work in groups. How many groups will there be? There is no statement saying how many kids don't have to work. Tucker and David are waiting for this, though. They don't want to work. So this time we had to do groups. We have an extra group. Okay, moving on to letter C. David, Joel, Sage, and Sarah. How many students is there? Okay, show me with fingers, everyone. Yep, Jared's got his fingers up. Okay, so we have 4 fingers. Wash cars on Saturday and earn $29. And so they're going to share that they shared their work equally, so they want to share the money equally. So what are they going to do? How much money are they going to get? Who knows what equation to use or to write? Oh, I can draw sticks. Who's going to tell me the equation? David, you saved somebody from getting a stick drawn.
I did D, J, S, and S.
Okay, I need my equation first.
29 divided by 4.
Equals money. That has to be split into equal groups. Remember last week when we were doing our equal groups with cookies? And you guys just didn't think it was fair if I got all the extra.
No, yeah, it's not fair.
Okay, Luke wanted all the extra. Anyway,
No.
with this one, David's telling me that he did a group with a D, a J, an S, and an S. How do we just keep those two separate?
Put lines in between them.
Okay. And now what did you do, David?
I put one in D, J, S, and S, and kept doing that.
Okay, so you divided out, or you shared out the dollars?
Yes.
Okay, so 1, 1, 1. Okay, we're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. What do I do with that extra dollar?
Split it in fourths.
So if I'm splitting it in fourths,
Each person would get 25 cents.
okay, and 25 cents.
So, or do that, yeah.
Okay, so you said each person gets 25 cents, or I could write the quarter symbol. Okay, so now David, since you've been telling us this, how to do letter C, can you read what our question is? Because that's what we're answering.
Right. How much money will each person get?
So how much money does each person get? We'll add up this column. How much money does each person get?
$7.25.
Okay, so to answer the question, each person gets $7.25. A lot of you did figure this out this way. Did anybody figure it out differently? No, pretty much you just shared out. Okay. Now we're working with D. I have some kids that are on swim team in class, so I'm going to ask one of my swim team students to read this. Who wants to read it? Okay, thank you, Phoenix. Come over here with your paper so you can read it, because otherwise they won't hear you back here. Phoenix is way in the back of the room. Thank you, Phoenix.
There are 29 kids on the swim team. Today, they're going to a big swim meet on the other side of town. If each car can take 5 kids, how many cars will they need for everyone on the team?
Okay, so before you run away, what is up? He ran away anyway.
What's wrong with you?
Okay, so what will our equation be?
29 divided by 5.
29 divided by 5 equals what? Number of cars? Number of cars. Okay, so how do we figure this out? How do we figure this out? It doesn't have to be Phoenix. It can be someone else. Akaya, can you bring your paper over if I remember right? Oh, I guess I don't remember right. Somebody was actually drawing little cars. Who was the person drawing little cars? Her. Oh, they're on the back. Here's her little cars. Now, see all these little cars that she made? Okay, so I'm going to draw those little cars because she said we could share out, but in bigger groups. So here's car number 1, and how many kids are in this one? 5, because it says here 5 kids per car. So I'm going to make my next car. I know it looks like a train. My grandson would be proud. He likes trains. Okay, here's my next car. Okay, do I have enough cars? 5, 10, 15. Gotta keep. Do you notice how I go back and I recheck my work to make certain I know my count? Okay, so we have 25 kids. Oh, what do I do with this one? This one, this one, and that one. They don't get to go, or do we, because we have to put 5 kids on a car, do we have to strap them on the top?
They don't get to go.
Millie, your mom's in here. Do you think she'd be happy if we strapped you to the top of a car?
Yeah.
Oh, she would.
That's just one. That's just
Okay, quiet, please. So, okay, Akaya, what do I do? Because I've got all these leftovers. I got 4 leftover kids, and Millie should go. And I think Phoenix's mom would get mad if he got strapped to the trunk or something. Grace, are you on swim team too? Yeah, I don't think your mom would like it if we put you in the trunk. So, Akaya, what do we do? Okay, so we have to put them in. There's only 4 in this car.
They don't come.
They do come because it says everyone. Right here, this word right here. Everyone. Everybody say that word. Everyone. They have to go. And we can't strap them on anywhere else, so we have a carload of 4. Now, my question, how many cars do we have? How many cars do we have? Show me with fingers. How many cars do we need to take? How many cars do we need to take? Uh-oh. Some of you are still leaving these kids behind. How many carfuls are there? I should see 2 hands in the air making the number 6, Will. Anna, or are you 2 working together over there?
No, me and Will are working.
6 cars. Because it answers the question. How many cars will they need for everyone on the team? 6 cars. If we don't take these 4 kids, then we're not answering the question. Okay, letter E. Carlos wants to display his favorite sports cards on a bulletin board in his room, and he has 29 cards. Imagine this. We keep working with the number 29. He wants to arrange the important information here in equal rows with at least 6 in each row, but not more than 9 in each row. And how many of you didn't know what to do because there were way too many numbers? Look at all those numbers. What do we do with all of them? It says at least 6 in a row. Can't have more than 9 in a row. Does that mean those are the only ways we can do it? We shall have to figure this out. First of all, who thinks that they can tell me the equation? Luke?
The answer?
The equation?
Which one?
For letter E?
Yeah, aren't you?
We don't know yet?
29 divided by 6?
Okay.
6, 7, 8, or 9.
Thank you. If you didn't hear him, he wasn't certain what he should do because he said it's 29 divided by 6, 7, 8, or 9. I'm going to put a C for cards.
What would the smallest remainder?
Okay, so then it says here, how can Carlos arrange his cards to display as many of them as possible? As many as possible. And Luke is up in front here saying, well, that means that we have to have the arrangement with the smallest remainder. I'm going to have to turn my paper over to figure this out. So if I have 6 in a row, so let's see, it says we can have at least 6 in a row. Turn your papers over. Work this out. 6, 12, 18. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have this one. Oh, these are my remainders over here. So probably not this one. So right now we have 29 divided by 6 equals 4, remainder 4. We probably not that one. So now it says we're supposed to work on 29 divided by 7. Now we have to make rows of 7. Start doing that. If you haven't worked through this one, I want you to work through it.
We're done.
I told you to turn the paper over and to work this out. So what were the directions? Are you doing this on the back of your paper? I'm going to pause this for a moment while we continue to work this out. All of you continue to work out and then join us soon. Hello. Going back to what we were working on. I made a mistake. Notice this. Because if I think about this, 6 times 4 is 24, plus 4 is only 28. So I have to have 29. So we'll fix this. Let's work on 29 divided by 7. We have rows of 7, 7, 14, 21, 28 with how many left over? So we have 4 rows with a remainder of 1. Moving on to the next one. We ended up with 3 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3 times 8 is 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. I didn't need to fix that one. I did that one right. 3, remainder 5. So again, here is 4, remainder 5. 4, remainder 1. Now we have 3, remainder 5. And then we worked out this one where we have groups of 9. 9 times 3, 9, 18, 27. 9 times 3 is 27. So we have 3 rows. See, 1, 2, 3. This one is 1, 2, 3. If you're wondering where we're getting these numbers from. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where we're getting our rows from. And we have a remainder of 2. So these are all the possible answers we could have. Which is the correct one? Which is the correct one? Brooklyn. Did she say the second one? Okay, so the second one is the correct answer. This is the correct answer because as Luke told us, the question says we want to display as many as possible. Otherwise, look, here we can display 24 and we have 5 of them that he doesn't get to put up. Here we can display 28 and we have 1 that he can't put up. Here we can display 24 and 5 that we can't put up again. Here we have 27 and there's 2 that we can't put up. So this is the one we would want to take. So we would do 29 divided by 7 equals 4 with a remainder of 1. So this is one of them with the remainder that we just don't use it. So looking at letter B, here we have people that they just make a different group and the group isn't the same size. With C, we divide up the money and we can divide it down into quarters. Instead of just doing dollars, we can also do quarters. With this one, we have to make an extra group because we can't leave our swimmers behind. With this one, we have 4 rows of cards, totaling 28 total. And we have 1 card that we don't use. Now we have 5 friends who mowed lawns together on Saturday. Together they earned $29. So 29 divided by 5 equals their money. How much money did each of the friends get if they split it up equally? Who has a picture they would like to volunteer? Who has a picture they'd like to volunteer? Everybody's looking at their pictures now.
For which one?
For our letter F. Okay, Luke is right here. He's going to bring his picture over. So what Luke did is he shared things out equally. Okay, now what do we do with the remainder of $4?
You can't split it up equally. So.
Oh, Luke is saying that we can't split the $4 up equally.
So I just put the remainder of 4.
Okay. So first of all, he says of each of the 5 friends, 5 friends, they each get $5, correct?
Yeah.
And now we have $4 left over. Okay. So can we, I'm thinking about splitting this up in larger chunks. So if we have 5 guys, let's get them right here. If I'm thinking about my money, I have 50, how many 50 cents go into $4? Yes. Well, let's count. 50, $1, $1.50, $2, $2.50. Okay, how much is still left over from that we haven't given out yet? $4 minus $2.50. Yes, $1.50. Well, should we try splitting them up? So now we have $1.50 left over. So can we, what's a different coin we could use? Ethan? Well, we'll find out. What's a different coin we could use since it doesn't, can we give them each a quarter again? Okay. 25, 50, 75, $1, $1.50. I mean $1.25. Okay, so that gives me 25 cents. And then we can split it in nickels. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So what is 50 cents plus 25 cents plus 5 cents? Grace?
80 cents.
80 cents. So they get $5 and how many cents? 80. How many of you, oh, you can't really read that. $5.80. How many of you went way down into nickels and dimes and stuff to split this apart? Or did you just think you had leftover money? So this time we were using bigger numbers to break things apart. And our last one, Papa's Pizza is having a big sale on frozen pizzas. 3 families went in together to buy 29 pizzas.
29.
Okay, so what is our division or equation? Tucker? 29 divided by what? Okay, so we have 29 divided by 3 equals how many pizzas each family gets. Okay, so if they share them equally, now look at that here. It says here that they're supposed to share the pizzas equally. Think of our work we already did on this. How many pizzas does every family get for certain? What is 29 divided by 3? 9. With a remainder of what? 2. Okay, so we have a remainder of 2. So we have these 2 pizzas left. What should we do now? David?
Split them in half.
Okay, how many people do we have? Or families? So should we just split them in half or should we split them another way? Okay, so David says we should split them in thirds because there's 3 families. So family 1 gets this one. Family 2 gets this. And family 3 gets that. So now how many pizzas do they get? We see that they already get 9. So so each family gets 9 and how many pizzas? What is our fraction? Tucker? 9 and 2/3 pizzas. Let's see, we have a third. We have 2 1/3 right there. So that makes 2/3 right there. Okay, when we get back from gym class, we will be working in here because we're going to write out some strategies. And you were using these strategies. We didn't use the skip counting so much. We kind of did, Ethan. But there are 4 specific strategies that we did use. So we're going to write those strategies. And then we will have to learn a game. So with that, learning a game, that's so bad. So with that, everybody is going to put their things aside. I am going to pause. We will speak with you soon.
Bye.
Okay, we're back, finishing up what we had started. These are the strategies we're actually working on. The first thing that we were working on in division strategies is sharing out. In other words, if we look at how we're sharing out, this is sharing out 1 by 1. You can see how with the money, we had our 4 columns and we kept distributing the dollars 1 by 1. We got to the extra. And then we divided the dollar into quarters. That's what we mean by sharing out 1 by 1. There's a front table that's talking too much. Please be quiet. The second one that we do, which is very similar to the first one, is share. We're sharing out, but in bigger chunks. So in other words, it's like with this one, we had to have 3 people in a group. So we counted by 3. We made groups of 3. So we're sharing out in groups of 3. That's what we mean. This is sharing out in groups of 1. This is sharing out in groups of 3. And these 2 are quite common for what students tend to use. Ethan, you need to hurry.
I'm already done. I have everything.
All of this?
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Got to pay attention. And the next one we're working on is skip counting. Skip counting can also be used like this one. And what you do with it is you skip count until you come close to the number and see if there are leftovers.
Science?
We already talked about that.
What's an email?
And then there's another one that we used. Multiplication. You know how I like to make my symbol so it's faster. Multiplication facts. Use the facts you know to come close to the number and see if there are leftovers. Okay, so those are the 4 strategies that 4th graders tend to use. They're listed on the board near our calendar. And now you also you need them in your notebook because eventually some of you will be using your notebooks like a guide as you're working things through. Okay, so we have our division strategies. Please notice that I didn't have the word leftovers here, so I think some of you maybe figured that out. And it is time to learn a game. Notice I keep coming back to this. Here, you can copy from here while the rest of us are starting again. You're going to do it now. So we're going to start a game calling Remainders Win. And with Remainders Win, you will need a game sheet. And there are 3 different types of games. So this is sheet 1. There's also a sheet 2 and a sheet 3. We won't have time to play all of those today. And it also says that we need to have a red dice. So the red dice is for determining who goes first. So the highest dice goes first. So for example, I rolled a 7. And let's see, Carter, is he in here? Carter rolled a 4, so I get to go first. Okay? So, and if you want to know what the instructions are for the game, like in any of your other games, the game instructions are always in your workbooks. So this one happens to be on page 75. So it tells us that each person rolls a dice to decide who's player 1. You write your names. Since Carter's one of the math helpers, let's see. So I am player 1. Carter is player 2. Okay. And if we need to, we can have some scratch paper. It says that player 1 circles one of the arrays on the record sheet with a pencil and then calculates the product of the multiplication problem. this number will be added, or will be the dividend. So, let's see, I'm gonna circle this one. Okay, so remember it says first thing you do is you circle it. Then it says that I have to calculate the product of the multiplication problem. 5 times 5 is what, everybody? Here I wrote 25 divided by, well, I don't have a divisor. Or do I? I rolled a 6. 25 divided by 6. So I'm going to count by 6s. That's using one of my strategies. I'm going to count by 6s, or I also know that 6 times what is really close to 25? 24. That's another one of our strategies. So 6 times 4 is 24. And so that gives me a remainder of 1. Okay, Carter, I'm going to take the, Carter, which one are you going to circle? Do you want to circle this one, or do you want to circle the bottom one? Top one or bottom one?
It looks like the top one.
Top or bottom?
Or the bottom. The bottom.
He wants the bottom. Okay. Carter wanted this one. What is 2 times 7, everybody?
14.
14. Okay, so if you have numbers up on Carter's machine, he should look at a number. He doesn't? Okay. Well, let's have Carter roll a number. Okay. Ready? And Carter has a 6. Okay. So we have divided by 6. So now there are different ways. Remember, we can divide out 14 into groups of 6 and see what's left over. That's would be our share out for number 1 that we did. We could share out in bigger chunks and divide it up. We could skip count by 6s and see what happens. So 6, 12. Well, 12 is pretty close to 14, so that means we did 2 counts. 6 times 2 is 12 with a remainder of 2. Carter's got 2. I have 1. And how do we know who's winning? Okay, so it says for the players need to find the sums of the remainders, and the higher sum wins. Carter is currently winning right now. Okay, so I'm going to do one more. This time, I'm going to take this one next to Carter. I'm going after the square numbers. See the square arrays? So 4 times 4 is what, everybody? 16. 16 divided by, oh. Okay, who all knows what the answer to this one is?
0.
It is 4, and I have a remainder of 0. Okay, Carter, do you want top or bottom? Let's see, do you want right or left this time? Right or left? He's talking left? Okay, so he's got this one. Okay, so what is 2 times 9, everybody? 18. Okay, Carter, it's time for you to shake. And Carter, you're going to be playing this game with everybody, so you're going to have to shake once. He's got a 9. Oh, he got a 9. What is 18 divided by 9? Carter, you have a remainder of 0 as well. But who's winning so far? Carter. Do we need to keep playing, or does everybody need their own game boards now? Okay, so we are going to play a game for a while. You at home are going to also play this game. So, okay, everybody, what are you going to tell them?
Bye.